All right, we're online. Special podcast. I think this is the second time we've done this, right? Live NBA fantasy draft night. Always a bit of excitement, surely, that this is going to set us up for the next, 9 months or so. Could be lots of
Yeah,
pain or could be lots of fun, man.
this is what content this is where the content begins. This is where the context happens. This is
So we got
everything.
13 minutes, man. 13 minutes to lead into this draft. We got over the line. I got a little bit nervous, actually. I wasn't sure we'll get the 10 players we were hoping to get. Obviously, last season we played with six, right? So that was a little bit of a different plan as well.
Yeah. Um 10 players this time around. Looks like we might have a couple of auto drafters, so it'll be interesting to see what the computer gives them.
I think most people are keen, so I'd imagine, Matt's one of them, and Colin I think is definitely going to jump in. So unless they've forgotten or something, man, or halfway through dinner, or sitting on the toilet.
Different excuse me, different time restraints either way. I'm not that you can see my screen, but I'm just queuing up some players just so I mentally remind myself of the players that I'm trying to pursue.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You've got a game plan.
and I
That's good. It's
guess
good.
yeah, a little bit. Like, but it's interesting as well. Like, just to shape our content, I'm going to assume that you're looking at maybe the draft about to start. It's really surprising to see players like Donovan Mitchell so high up on the list. I find that really interesting. This is obviously projected value, but he's above players like Tatum and Edwards and even Antetokounmpo. Butchered that, Antetokounmpo. So it's interesting that he's there.
You don't think it's worth $57 for
Not. I think you look at the stats there. Like he takes more attempts than a large portion of the league, and it's not like the field goal matches it. The points are high, but I don't know. Is this an overvaluation of points? You look at Wemby at the top there, and that's the four blocks that really carries him. Um, and that's the appeal, along with pretty good shooting from free throw. So
Look, I think I was thinking this, as we're leading into this tonight. I was like, clearly we voted, democratically for a auction again. I think last season when we did an auction, it was the first time I actually did an auction, so it was pretty fun.
mm,
Obviously, you can sort of mix things up. I think last season I threw in there maybe round two or three. I went bol, I think, and I was like, who wants bol? And I got him for $1, and then he didn't even play the whole season. Literally dropped him after week one. But you can throw some real curveballs here because I think it's a real different strategy compared to snake draft because snake draft you have to really consider carefully, I guess, you're picking an order because if you miss that player, you won't get another pick for up to say not 18 more picks in that sort of sense, 18, 19 picks later, and you need to consider that sort of bracket in that sort of sense.
yeah, the picks are very much a formality here. The number one pick may not go to the number one player. I actually had the number one pick last season and let Jokic go for $100, basically. So there is some strategy. Do you just do some dud picks and have people do a weird bidding war, or do you prioritize your player and go for it? But a $200 limit as well. Last year we were operating under a $300 limit with six people, and there
Oh,
was
were we on
surplus
300
cash
last
by
year?
the
We
end.
were on 300
Yeah,
last
we were
year.
on
Oh, is that
300.
why we
Yeah,
were
so there's
splurging our cash? Is that what's going on? Is that why Jokic got to
yeah.
100? Is that what's going on here? I thought we were
Hmm.
on 200 last year, but I didn't realize we were on 300.
No, so I mean, looking at this list here, I don't know what, $50 is a quarter of your salary to go to a player, and some players are worth $50, but I guess you have to be quite confident, and a bidding war early will be problematic. So, I think I'm not projecting a strategy here because it's not my strategy. You got to take the best available players, but there could be some merit here in saving your cash until the end
Mm,
and building your like 3 through 10 stronger than the average person's 1 to 2. But we'll see if we can rack up the price on some people. I do feel like I don't know. I don't. You know the cohort better than I do, but I feel like we might be able to trick some people into paying a bit more than they should.
Look, I think I actually thought we were on 200 last year too. 200 I think is the default. I didn't touch that. Obviously 200 is the default budget that we all have. Um, yeah, I think I'm glad you actually sort of drew that to my attention. I thought last year we just went a bit crazy because we had six owners, but I didn't realize that that we had a bigger budget in that sort of sense. So maybe I don't think Jokic is gonna go for 100 this year. Then maybe that's probably a stretch, right? That's 50% of your budget gone.
Yeah, and scrolling through the list as well, I'm looking at some other players that kind of pop out, like LaMelo Ball being at 46. I understand the stat projections are, are good, but we know that he doesn't play. So I just don't understand that one at all. And Scotty Barnes being above players like Sabonis and Curry, you do probably have to have your thinking hat on a little bit because you could get lulled into thinking James Harden's better than Kevin Durant if you go by this draft.
Yeah, who did you end up with? You had Harden last year, right? Did you ride Harden the whole year?
Yeah, I did. So I stashed him at the start of the year because he was your disgruntled superstar that was going to move,
That's
and
right.
it took a
That's right.
while for him to get
Correct.
moved.
Correct.
Um, but that paid off. I mean, I think the players that I rode too long were probably Paolo and Miles Bridges. I moved them in the finals, but way too late, and they were hurting me. So I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious of stats like turnovers, and percentages. But I got to clarify, it's no 3-point percentage, right? You've
No
done 3-point rate.
three-point percentages this year. I remember, man, I had this huge. Hey, man, you told me I was full of complaints, man. Let it go, right? But I was like, man,
Yep.
literally a guy that shot 1 from 2 from the field was more value than a guy that made 4 from 10, right, for last season. I was like, man, that makes no sense. But anyway, look, it's that was last season.
Well, you ran your own league and you got your own way, so that's
Well,
that's why you do it,
I
isn't
was
it?
like, no, I look, credit to Matt, man. I'm not trying to bag him if he does listen back to this stuff, in his spare time, right? I know it was his first time as a commissioner and stuff like that. He was sort of learning the ropes, but I guess maybe part of learning the ropes is you're just gonna get everyone complaining whatever you do, man. There's always gonna be someone complaining about something.
Yeah, that's a rule of thumb. People are going to be dissatisfied. Look, I think there's merit in the 3-point percentage because you avoid chuckers. Because someone who
Oh,
shoots four of because I hear
oh.
it out in this way. Hear it out in this way. Someone who shoots 4 of 10 is better than someone who shoots 3 or 4 in your league. So, the quantity quality game. It's a tricky one to balance.
You want to talk about merit? I think I sent you a message a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, one season I want to play every single category on. Can you actually highlight every single category? Because there's a
I
lot
think
of
it's capped at
categories.
9. I
Is
think
it?
it's capped at 9.
Is it capped
Yeah,
at 9? Okay. We should go
capped at
some real
9.
obscure categories there that we go the 9, like literally like wins and there were some interesting ones there, obviously like wins, like team wins. Like I don't know that like who would you pick there? I guess like you'd have to consider that is this player a good player on a good team? You'd probably rather pick say I don't know, say Tatum, I guess, over say I'm looking at the list here, say Trey Young, because obviously Boston's probably going to win more games than Atlanta right now, right?
Yeah, yeah. It prevents you from chasing the empty stat guys, and that makes players like Victor really interesting because he gives you such phenomenal
Correct,
stats. But
correct.
you
They're
know
not
that
going to win.
Spurs are going to
Mm.
have the record issues. So, but I mean, all that kind of irons out a little bit. Uh, you know, I think the categories are good. I think uh, it's going to be interesting to see probably in round 2 when the top 20 players are off the board, how people start to draft because I think last year we were spoiled into being able to select
Yeah, yeah.
3 to 4 all NBA players essentially for our team, whether it be first, second, or third.
Mm-mm.
But you're going to run out of those players really quick. And I'm scrolling through the list, and I don't know if you've done it as well, but it gets to single digits really quickly in terms of the projected value of players. And players like Pascal Siakam at $5 just feels
Jarrett Allen,
um,
$4.
they just like this is the thing. Like there's going to be a lot of allure at the top, but there's still value down below. And it's curious. Again, I don't make the system, but who's making this? Like players like Malik Monk. He was sixth man of the year consideration, $0. Same for RJ Barrett as well. Like those guys are going to give you stats. But it depends what they're waiting on here.
So I guess maybe the trending topic right now, man, we're on top of this stuff, is that Cat to the Knicks. Does
Yeah.
this help him as a fantasy player? Like obviously we're talking about fantasy here. Let's not talk about
No.
reality. Fantasy player. Does he get more stats on the Knicks, or would they have been better on the T Wolves, man? Like I don't know, man. I feel it'd probably be really similar, isn't it? Don't you think?
I think you don't want to go near him in maybe the first couple of months, but he might pay off as he figures out his role. I think a lot of people are forgetting because the off season is a really long time. But Mikal Bridges was also added to the team,
Yep.
so they've
Yep.
actually added two high caliber players to their lineup, and they're essentially rolling out a new starting five.
Mm.
So
Some
there's going to be a little bit of
some
teething.
chemistry issues. You think so?
Oh, 100%. There's going to be some teething that comes into that. And you're talking about Brunson, who's the clear number one for the Knicks.
Mm.
And then you have Mikal Bridges, who can slot back into his role perfectly fine. I think that's not an issue. But Cat's going to be coming to a new situation, and it's an adjustment. And all of that comes into consideration with things like percentages, right? Because he might still get his 20 plus points, but he might be shooting a bit poorly. Um,
You
there's
know,
definitely going to be some turnovers that occur because, they just throw the ball out of bounds.
well, you know what's funny? On my other fantasy team that we broke down a week or so ago now, I actually made a drop. I actually made a move. I did not drop Ben Simmons. Sorry, man. I did not drop Ben Simmons. I actually dropped TJ McConnell, and I picked up Precious Achua. Yeah, because this is when Mitch Robinson went down, and then guess what happened now? Yeah, Cat decided to come take his minutes, and so that didn't really pan out, did
I
it? Yeah,
don't,
my
no, I
first
don't
move.
hate it though.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
actually don't hate it because I don't hate it because that is the only backup center,
true,
right?
true,
And I think
true.
this move's been made. I don't think they've made this move just for Mitchell Robinson insurance. I actually think they legitimately are going to have him for a good stretch of the season,
It was out for
and then it
3 months, I
opens
think.
up the
Three
big.
months. I think that's the estimate.
Mm. But that's the big issue with Mitch is that he just doesn't play. Like he doesn't play. I actually saw a crazy thing floating around, and a part of me has to like preface this with maybe it's fake, but supposedly Cat in the last 5 seasons has played less games than Joel Embiid and Paul George, like
Mm, mm,
players
mm,
that we
mm.
kind of label as
Is
irregulars.
this the same infograph guy that shared that infograph that Manu Ginobili had only played like 300 games or something? Like, you got to fact check your stuff here sometimes, isn't it? I know he's been injured for
That's
a little bit, but
he
let's
did
take.
it. Look, he was out for most of the season, I think, with Rudy Gobert, and he definitely misses some games here and there. But um, yeah, I think ultimately every season's a new season. I think that's probably the healthiest way to look at it. I think the other interesting thing before the draft begins, this is the CBA thing back in action that I
Mm,
was talking about, is
mm,
that teams are going to be making trades to assist them financially. And so Minnesota was about to hit an apron and not be able to do anything. And this is a small haul for a player who's been talked about for many, many years. We kind of expected a bigger trade. And it
but it's
ultimately,
actually a haul
that
that makes
Julius
sense, though.
Randle contract,
It actually makes
it
sense,
makes
though.
sense. It, I think for Minnesota, the hard part was, is this the best return they could have got for Cat? And that hypothetical is always an interesting one because if there's no other deals, then the answer is actually yes.
Mm,
But we as fans want to manifest like, oh, he deserves to be at least traded for a Zach Levine or something like that. Like we want to try to match
mm.
All Star for All Star, and that doesn't always pan out.
Julius Randle's
But I
all
think the
NBA,
biggest,
man. I think you can't.
correct.
Yeah.
No, I think it's also the allure of the contract. Cat was on a contract for 3 more seasons with, increasing pay scale, which makes things difficult. And they've picked up two players who are cheaper and are shorter
Mm,
deals.
mm.
So
So,
it either works or they get to make another move sooner.
how ironic if these two teams meet in the NBA Finals now, yeah? These moves get them to that, chosen land, right? That they meet in the
I
finals, and
don't know if we'll get another Boston Dallas sort of scenario where you have star players shifting teams down the line. Um,
so
I don't
look,
know. It's crazy. We have to start thinking about that
30
though, don't we?
seconds left, man. Is Naz Reid suddenly a hot name now that everyone wants to grab maybe in the draft?
Yeah, I think, and there's the thing. Like even Cat hasn't been updated to the Knicks yet, so.
Oh, okay, I didn't notice that. All right, well we got 15 seconds. I think everyone's online, man. Look at that. We're all serious at least for the draft process. After you
Yeah,
go 0 and 3
some
and you give
people
up
are.
and then you stop setting the lineups, right?
I wonder if some people are on their phone and they keep tabbing out because there's a lot of joining and leaving the chat. I'm going to be honest.
Ah, that's right. That's right. At least you're attempting to get online, right?
All right.
Which race
Wow,
Keith's gonna
we're
go, man? Which race Keith's gonna
he's
go?
going Victor.
Has
Yeah,
he
no,
gone?
that's.
Man, that was too predictable, right?
I mean, you got to
Uh,
get in the sweepstakes for this one. You got to get in the. Oh, there it is. Now you back right off. You back right off at
$83.
$82. At
$83.
$82.
Really?
82.
Who's overpaying? Keith. Keith is overpaying right now.
All right, which way are you going? Oh, 84.
Let me get the first one, He's gonna
Nice.
field Victor and a whole bunch of scrubs. Is that his game plan here? I see
That's
it.
got
I
to be
see
the
it.
play, I guess.
I like it. I'm up. I'm up. Let's see how we go here. Let's go with some a bit of talent here on the board, right? Let's go with this kid.
I'm excited.
Someone take the bait. Someone take the
I can't see
bait.
anything. There's nothing selected.
All right, he's
Bronny
up. He's
James.
up. He's up. No, it's LeBron James. He's just got a
No,
young photo.
it's Bronny James.
Someone overpay. Someone paid $2.
Someone's paid two
Yes,
bucks.
I sucked $2 out of someone. This has worked. It was sorry, it was Matt. No, it was Dylan actually. Dylan put down. Yeah. See, this is the part of auction, man. I actually reckon auction is more fun than Snake, man. Like
Yeah.
Snake, you just go a lot more serious. That you just got to really focus. Here, you're gonna pick. You could reverse your picks basically. You got pick 13 and pick one, but you can go any order you want effectively until your player hits the board, and you go now. I'm gonna go after them. Giannis. Who wants Giannis? Does the redeem team want Giannis?
Oh, Keith. Keith getting in it.
Maybe he just wants
He's,
an early
Keith's
night.
gonna
If,
run out
if,
of
if I
minutes.
if I spend all
Yeah.
my money in the first 4 rounds, I can go to bed. Is that maybe that's just the game plan here? Um, $63 for Giannis. It's The question here will be would Jokic go more than Wemby? Yeah, that's a real interesting one that's I think's been happening in drafts this season. That
Hmm.
that there's a level of depending on the personnel in the draft, the value there. The fact that Giannis is at 80.
It's high. That's high. Considering that Luka and Jokic and Shea and Joel Embiid are all
At,
still.
at this rate, Jokic is going to go at 100. Maybe people don't know how to budget that well. $200 and need to fill 13 spots. Who ended up with Giannis?
Chris's cool team.
All right,
Well
all
done,
right,
Chris.
all right. All right, what are we up to? Number 4, Sai. Let's go, man. What do you put a play on the board? I realized I had to click that button. I had selected, you know, Bron James, Bronny James, but I didn't click the button to actually put him on the board. That took me 3 more seconds.
There's Luka. We're just going straight into it.
I thought Luca was actually not Luca. I thought SGA was point guard, shooting guard, but right now on ESPN it's
Just
being
point
listed as
guard,
point
yeah.
guard only, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Um, have you hit the bid button yet? Or it's been 4 picks in.
I
You're
I
just
haven't.
watching. You're
Yeah,
just
no, I
spectating.
haven't.
Get your
I'm just
popcorn out, man. What are your
I'm
some
just
thoughts?
letting
I feel really mesmerized right now with that bid button that's flying around. $84 now for Luca. How much
I'm
did?
just watching round one unfold. I think look, I think my strategy for round one is not going to be to put a big name on the table here. I think let the big names go here. I think I'm going to go elsewhere.
Luca is going more than Wemby. That's an interesting observation here.
Yeah, I mean, look, that makes sense though. The percentages and the points per game are going to be higher. So
You had Luca last year, and I think
I
you,
did.
you know you learned you
I'm
learned
good
the
this year.
challenges,
I'm
pros
good
and
this
cons,
year.
man. Pros and cons of Luca, man. Pros and cons. Is it still going? Someone got him. Who got him?
It is my turn.
How do I? Oh, Luca went to site. Okay, cool. Because I guess that's the player you wanted, right? It would make sense. Generally, people would pick the player they want. Is that what's sort of the obvious strategy here? Mikal Bridges, man. Come on, $15. 15. Surely no more than 15. Someone's going to overpay here because it's too early in the rounds here, and you're still looking at too much money in the bank. Is that what's going on?
That's kind of the idea here. Yeah.
Here's some quick maths. You know that stat guy? He can also be a math guy, man. If you have $200, all right, and 13 spots to field, right? Is that right? 13 spots to field.
Yep.
What's the average spend here? It's $15.
It's
15. It's literally 15.
yeah, it's
The
around that.
average
Yeah.
average spend, obviously. 24.
So this is the thing. Look, I understand he's an Iron Man, so that's the appeal of him, and he can gives you those stocks.
Yeah,
And it'll be interesting to see what happens.
till
But
it
he's
goes.
splitting his time with
Yep.
OG and
Until he goes plays
um.
with Tom Thibodeau and breaks down, right?
Well, that's the risk, but yeah, I mean, you're looking at this right now. Like, are you telling me that he's a third of the value of your big players? You know, if Keith wants him, Keith can have him at this point.
All right, what are we going on here? Still bidding $35. Mikal Bridges. Maybe this is the other part though of auctions that the draft potentially, in theory, especially at early stages, the picks could go a little bit longer. I guess there's a real, depending how many people want to jump in and continue, bid against each other.
Mm. Is this still going?
Are you studying your game notes there? What's going on here?
I'm
For
because
45
I'm
pages of
recording my
game
screen.
notes.
Because I'm recording my screen, I'm just not pulling up Messenger on this. So
Okay.
the fact that Mikal Bridges got to $40 is crazy.
All right, Chris. Pick a player, Chris. Chris already has Giannis, correct? I believe that was the case. Yes,
Could
yes,
not tell you.
yeah. So Tyler Hero. I do like Tyler Hero.
I don't like him
I
enough to
I like him for
pay for him though.
$4 maybe. There's some interesting bidding here. If how much Mikal Bridges went for 40, Tyler Hero is gonna go for at least
20.
30,
At
30,
least 20.
30. But it's too
Nah, 20.
early. People have money in the bank right now. People are over projecting what they have to spend. No one wants him.
Nah,
14,
there it is.
14.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that.
The fact he plays shooting guard, point guard, though, that's always a benefit, right? Um,
I think one of the challenges of this draft is going to be that you might have to pay really high to get one player because, there's still potential for bidding wars for Jokic, SGA, etc. Now
Desmond Bain.
Desmond's getting real love here.
Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain did have a down season last year, though. Missed probably half of the second half of the season.
It's hard to evaluate the Memphis Grizzlies last season because I understand a lot of people got injured, but how many got injured so that they could rest and get draft stock and that? Well, there was no reason. That team was done after Jar came back and then injured
That's
himself.
true.
Like
That's
they
true.
weren't going to go anywhere.
Desmond
And
Bain is a legit 20-point scorer. Gives you three pointers
it's
and sort of a bit of hustle stats too in that sense.
yeah, and clearly is worth $50.
53, still bowling, still going. Who put him on the board? Did Billy put him on the board? He did.
Yep, Billy wanted him. Billy gets what Billy wants.
All right. Who the hell is 50 Shades of Trey? Who decided to come up with that? These team names clearly have no, you can you put any team name in here? Can you use explicit
Yeah,
language?
you can type whatever you want, man. That's why I
That's what
called
I
it the
tried
Redeem Team.
to. Who's on board? Zubac. How many see him? $11. You decided he's worth a spot on the center.
He's 100%. He's a double double.
Hey,
He's a double double with a block a game.
we're actually talking about rules, I guess, as well earlier. So obviously you might be aware that I haven't limited positions as well. Last
Yep.
season, Matt limited positions across the board. There's a 3 center limit, which is a default setting, all leagues. But I basically left it as default. So if you want 6-point guards, take 6-point guards. Just you need to figure out how to play them.
I
Did you?
personally like the limit. I like the limit. It helps construct a team. Like,
No, I hated it. I
yeah,
hated it,
yeah.
man.
Well, that's why you got your own league now,
What do
isn't
you
it?
mean? No,
That's why you got your own league
think
doing your own
about a
things.
real team, man. A real team doesn't limit
Yeah,
you
you
must
don't.
have 3-point guards and 3 shooting
No, but
guards.
you don't also have 10 point guards on a
But you
team.
can if you want. That's the point, right? It's your owner's choice. Yeah, it's.
Here we got. Oh, AD. Are you getting in on the AD?
I feel like
Who
just.
do you want? I'm very curious who you want, considering that you're not beating really
What do
either.
you? We're like nine picks in. We're gonna have how many picks here? We're gonna have at least 130
It says 130, so I'm glad that
picks.
it's 10:40 at night.
I'm 2 hours ahead of you, so $60
Are
AD.
you ahead?
What do you
No,
reckon?
it's not
No,
12.
sorry.
It's not 12:30, is it?
No, no,
It
sorry, I'm
should be out.
behind. So it's only 8 something
Yeah,
here.
calm down.
Psy, $59. Who's got Psy got at the moment? How do I bring this up? Here we go. Roster Psy. So I've got Luca and AD. Hey, that sounds really deja vu, like someone's team that started with last season. He's just gonna, he's just
I
gonna
mean,
take.
look, the main reservation for me is I understand AD had a good one, but you've got to have some reservations on it.
I love
Now,
Colin going with his main man Nurkic. Obviously, he knows him
is
personally. I think.
is Colin the Phoenix man?
Yeah, man.
Is that
Yeah. He might just get him for less than $10 at this point. I don't know who's gonna.
well, the main thing there, the 76 games. That's the real impressive part for Colin. Is that he played 76 games.
How would you rate Nurkic next to Zubac though? Zubac went for 15, so surely they're that sort of same tier here. Like you'd feel like Nurkic should
That's
at
what I'm
least get
saying.
to like 15.
But yeah, Nurkic is definitely more injury prone than Zubac, so that would be my reservation on it. All
No,
right.
I do know how to click the button. Let's play this game. I'll take him for 11. Like surely you feel Nurkic,
Oh, should. I
should
like how
we,
we.
we're going through right
You know what I don't.
now.
You know what I don't like. Just hit the bid button now. Don't wait till the timer runs out every time. Just hit it now. You know you don't want
Oh,
it, or
should
you
have
do
got him.
want
Should
it.
have
Come
got
on
him.
now.
Going for an extra dollar. I mean, damn him. It's I feel like Nurkic for $3 less than Zubac is not bad. Not bad value. Like maybe I
Now
could
this
have
is an interesting one. This is a
maybe I could have bid a
you
bit
could
harder there.
pay if Mikal Bridges went for 40. This should also go for near 40, which it has, and it's going to.
You had no you traded Chet last year, right? You just fell out of love with Chet. You had him, you had Wemby. You decided to trade him because you got greedy with Luca, and Chet was actually not a bad
Yeah, he was
pickup. I
good.
think
He was good. I think with the revamped roster on OKC and their focus on probably making the finals, his role will be almost the same as what he played. You know, he played all 82 games, 16, 8, and 2. I think that's what he'll just reproduce. I don't think he's going to do much more than that.
you don't think he'll build on his rookie campaign. Surely his stats would trend upwards in that sort of sense. Like,
Mm,
like
I don't think the role facilitates it. I think when you look at SGA and Jalen Williams, he's the third option,
do,
and that's
do,
a lot of money for a third option.
do you not think just default growth as a player? It's not. You can always score more points.
I
Can
think
you
the
not?
defensive stats, I think the defensive stats, the rebounds and the percentages could increase. I can't see the points eclipsing 20.
Oh,
That's
look, but I don't think no one projects Holmgren to score 20 points a game at this point. It's not needed. I'll take him at 50. I'll take him at 50.
I mean, he played all 82, and for a guy that size to play all 82 and give you 2 blocks a game, that's 164 blocks that you just got for yourself,
All
assuming he
right,
does it again. So
which way are we gonna go here? It's my pick, right? All right, here we go. I love this guy.
this is
Everyone that
this is
knows,
your guy, yeah.
everyone that knows and listens to anything I talk about, I go
No
Sabonis is
one
the
is going
guy.
to. No one.
Let's
This
let's.
is going to be the $100 player.
I,
This
I,
is going to be the
I,
$188.
I don't think I'm gonna win him. I'm gonna put him on the board. Let's see some action here. Uh, you know,
Longest double streak.
he does some really good things. I love this guy. Plus, he's multi-positional, right? PF and center. Can't complain. I love picking him. If he's gonna go for less than 50, then surely he's worth some money. You gotta. You've been listening. You've been listening. Let's. You have to spend 50, Nick. You want this guy on your team, man. You're gonna have to hit that 5-0 then, and that's a quarter of your budget gone.
I'll take it.
You reckon? Suppose does some good things, eh? He does some good things.
He
Yeah,
literally gives you a
yeah,
double every week.
yeah.
You got to be
It's
kidding me.
okay, let's go, man. It's you can go 52, man. It's just another dollar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Why not 52?
You
Why
know
not
how it goes.
52?
You can raise your increments by more than a dollar as well, right? You can go 75. You want to
Can you?
smash this out of the water. Right? Yeah, you just got to type it in, I think.
Nah, it's all right. You can have him at 53.
Oh, good.
I made you pay 3 more.
All right. All right. I've got my front court set up, I think. Now let's get some, let's get some perimeter production here.
Kobe Simmons.
Who went with that? This feels like remember last year. Who was the player that was picked last year that everyone said, "Who the hell is that guy?" Yeah, this is that pick now already round 2. That who the hell is Kobe Simmons? He doesn't even have projected 2025 stats. All right, Jokic.
Here's the Jokic one.
Jokic. I think I've shown my cards here that I've already gone for two centers. I really, as much as I do like Jokic, I've never had Jokic on a fantasy team. I've always think about going, I want to go with a Jokic centric team, but I've never landed him. It looks like it's probably not going to happen this year either. But I don't know. Surely he just gives you reliable production, man, across the board, right? 77. It's got to hit 90 at least, man. It's got to hit 90. Like Chet went, sorry, Wemby went for 84, and Luka went for 90. Yeah, there is at 80 now. There we go. Colin jumps in, 81. I see you watching intently, man. What's your limit here? Check your draft notes. What's my limit for Jokic? Willing to spend 85. There you go. I like it. I like it. But you do realize that I just got Sabonis, which is Jokic light, fairly much, pretty much, right? Like, and I spent only $53. You're like stretching. Is this how it's like property building bidding, man? You're like, I really like that property, but
I really do like that property.
can I get an extra loan, another credit card? What can I do? Where can I pull this extra, fantasy cash from? I might have to spend a bit less for Booker. Is that what's going on here? Is he still going? Who got him? Colin. Tiny. Have you actually got a play yet?
I actually have no one is playing on the roster at this point. So
All right, you're gonna just make your last. You're gonna just end up with the players. You're hoping for Jimmy Butler, $2, right? Paul
uh,
George, $2, right?
I just think, look, I have money, and that's a good place to be
Look,
sometimes.
look. I guess. Look, I'm presuming you're not chasing Embiid right now, yeah?
No,
Or is
no, I
Embiid
just
your?
nominated him because I knew that he would spark a bidding war. I think that's the strategy at this point. I just want money spent. Um,
Is is
I
it
would happily.
is Embiid like a backup plan to Jokic? If you don't land Jokic, should you chase Embiid quite hard? Because I think like I said, I've played my cards already here. I've gone to a chat. I've gone to Sabonis. I don't really care now about Jokic and Embiid and any of these like AD even in that sort of sense. They're probably not really on my radar right now.
Um,
$73. Is
I
that
mean,
right?
again, it's the categories. It's the categories. Like, what are you trying to build around, and what are you trying to do? You're talking about guys who are volume shooters, volume rebounders,
What do you reckon of this?
probably volume turnovers.
Keith has ended up with Embiid and Wembanyama. Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he has
Win blocks
huge
every
front
week.
court potential
Blocks
there.
blocks every week for him, right?
Now, this is another player that I had that hurts you on percentages, but doesn't do too badly across the board. I don't hate it. This is a
Did
good.
you not drop him last
You know
year?
what? Traded him. This is a $20 player
Oh, it's peaking now, peaking. Out of your budget.
that
Out of
I'm gonna put up to 20. I'll go to 25.
So we got a few owners, you and who the hell's Shades of Trey? I actually don't know who even decided to name
That's
the
Matt.
team. Is that
That's
Matt?
Matt.
Okay, that's Matt.
Yeah,
Okay.
loves his Trey Young.
We'll run that play up a couple of dollars more then, right? Is that what the plan is?
Um, yeah. I think you should bid on everyone.
All right, Trey Young,
I
he's
think you
up.
should have
Let's
no
go.
money.
Let's go. Kyle Kuzma, $25. You think that's a good value? Clearly,
I think it's good value. You're talking about a 20-point scorer, 7 rebounds, and they'll be a little bit more interesting
what if he gets
with the
traded?
acquisition of Valanciunas. Well, and if he gets traded, that's even better. So I'm actually really content with that pick for $25. I
Oh,
still have flexibility to do what I want to do.
it's not calling your team name 50 Shades of Trey, just showing your hand.
Yeah, yeah. He's going to have to really pay for this. If he gets him for less than 60, I'll be shocked.
I don't have that extra $100 this year to splash around. I feel like last year we just played with
Yeah,
that
that
a bit
extra
more.
100
Yeah, yeah.
really was nice last season.
I really don't want to end up with Trey Young for 54. Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, weird. 50 Shades of Trey did not get Trey.
Oh no,
Oh,
he's
okay.
hit his limit, even though he's still got 200 to spend. So what do we got here? We still got SGA, we still got Tyrese Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, which we talked about, and Edwards. Steph Curry, man. At this rate, Steph Curry could be a bargain pickup, depending how much money everyone spent at that point.
Hmm.
Who's up? Who's up? Sengun. Sengun. I did end up with Sengun on my other team as we broke down last week. Clearly, I've gone a different direction here. I really don't need to overspend on 3 centers, I think.
I'm obviously banking on him coming back and being healthy, so we'll see how that goes. LeBron James.
LeBron.
I mean, is this the season he falls apart? You know?
So you got
Well,
Sengun, you got Kuzma.
that's it. That's literally it at this point.
You looking for some guards now? What's sort of the plan now, man? Like,
I'm looking for players. Now, look, I think you're looking at the money that's being spent here, and you look at the caliber of players. I'm actually quite confident. What I like is that Keith, Sai, and even Billy, to a degree, especially Billy now, they can't compete for players like SGA or Tyrese or Donovan or Jason. You know, like now I'm bidding against less teams for some of these better players. So there's still really good talent on the board here. I'm not too stressed. Wow. Has he not read the news that he has a knee surgery?
Surely, but here's the catch, right? Kawhi's such a tricky one, man. I've had him at times in the past that
No, he's not tricky.
he's
No,
he's
no, he's going to
tricky
get injured.
because you know he is good when he plays. So now you're banking on how much does he play. So clearly picking him, say, 3rd round is not great value, but getting quiet, say 8th, 9th, 10th round value, that's probably good value. But he rarely slides that low because obviously it's quite Leonard. See, that's the point, right?
Do you know I'm really good at gambling when I'm winning? Yeah. You aware of that? I'm pretty good.
Is that I don't. What are you
So
trying to say
the
here?
analogy there is that yeah, he's good at basketball when he plays.
Yep.
He's not going to play. He's already had knee surgery on a knee that's already been operated on, and the Clippers aren't projected to do well this season. I don't understand what the intent is. Now this is an interesting one because Detroit, like, if they're ever going to turn it around, it's got to happen soon. And Cade was all right, and people are pumping some money into this. This isn't where I would be allocating a lot of money to my PG SG with what's on the board, but that's
Cade
all right.
gets minutes though. Cade gets minutes, right? Cade's
going to play. Cade's going to play.
He's the best player arguably on the Pistons, right? So it's 30 something bucks for him. Well, Kawhi went for 32. There's the reality, yeah. Clearly, Cade should. Is it me? I'm up.
It is you.
Yep. All right. Which way are we gonna go here?
I don't know.
All right.
That's the joy of watching you draft.
We're gonna go with this multi-talented player here that that does a lot of good things, I think. I think you know, I hope no one agrees with me because I think I'll take him for $1 on my team. I'll play him in a free agency pile too, right? But you know, let's play Matt. Let's play Matt. Oh, $4. I'm milking the money out of the suckers. We're getting a bit more.
You're not
action
trying to
than I
win the
actually
championship.
Than I actually
You're not
thought,
trying to
yeah.
win the championship with him on the team. Is that the play?
Here's the odds, right? Oh, Colin, you want to jump in too? $7. Whoever ends up grabbing him drops him within the first 2 weeks.
When he doesn't play because his back's hurt again.
Oh, Keith wants some Aussie love too. I think all the Aussies here gotta like jump in, man. Ben Simmons, it's either him or Giddy, right? Gotta give some love to the Aussie guys, right?
Well, this is the thing. Giddy is probably more of a realistic. Like that'd be good value.
But you know, this is a real international fantasy league here, man. We got guys from America,
It is.
Singapore, Australia. It's you know.
You've really diversified our league in just 12 months. It's great.
Well, last season it was like what 5 guys in Shep and 1 guy overseas. Was that what the
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's good though.
Russell Westbrook.
I just can't do it. The percentages and the turnovers really are quite.
He's past his
harsh.
prime. Is it just nice to still see him playing? I guess Let's be honest. As much as we sort of ripped him
No,
out that he was
no, it's
a
not.
loser. What do you
No,
mean,
it's
man? Like these guys that just keep playing that are like legends back in the day in their prime. Still seeing them on the court. We've lost D Rose now. We lost D Rose now, but obviously
yeah,
we still
lost
got
two rows.
we
Yeah.
got Westbrook still. Just even seeing them step on the floor and just playing some backup minutes, I think it's still nice, man. And it's inevitable at some point their careers finish. Isn't that the reality of life, man? Or basketball life, at least.
After that rant, that was a beautiful rant.
Thank you,
I
man.
am not prepared to stream as much as you were. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm letting you down.
SGA. Let's
This
go,
is like one of
baby.
your last MVP candidates, right? This is
How much is
should
SGA worth? Charlie does some crazy things, right? Is Tyrese Halliburton going to average 11 assists again this season, do you think?
with a full season under the belt, you'd have to hope.
$80, $80. SGA now is hitting Wembanyama value and,
You don't
you know,
think so?
Matt's got money to spend, right? He better spend his money at some point. That's his logic, right?
Did you mean to?
Whoops! Is that what you're trying to say? Please don't notice for the next 7 seconds. um, I think SGA really was intriguing to me last season. I was trying to trade for
It's the
him across
it's
the
the
board.
it's the percentages. It's the percentages.
You know,
But I'll let you do that because you've got no money left.
it's alright. I'm
So
done. I'm off. See ya. We'll chat in
yeah,
a few days, right?
good stream.
All right. All right. I guess now I'm running a bit of commentary and talking shit to you because
Yeah, it'd be
you got
great
your
because
money
I'll focus on my draft at this
and
point.
Matt still's got $190. Who else? Should got 150. Commitment issues. Dylan hasn't actually decided to spend any money too. What's going on, Shep? You guys have a spending issue.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a bit of a economic crisis over here.
You're
Um,
not willing to open your
a
wallets a
regional
little bit
life.
for in a fantasy world.
I just think, look, I obviously selected Tatum knowing that racks up the cost, allows me to do something flexible. Um,
But
yeah, Tatum
I think what
three-point
you need
percentage
to
is really bad,
I think
really
there's a
bad.
level of I think this is where auctions are a challenge, man. Like I guess look, if we'd played with if I've gone 3 rounds, okay, and I've got Sabonis, SGA, and Homegrown, I'm feeling okay there. And now I know I got peanuts money left to spend, but it's like I'll just pick up whatever's left at that sort of point.
Yeah, you
And
kind of have to.
and I think that's the strategy here, man. Like you might get 2 players that might be able to stretch your limit a little bit here, but is it yeah is that the right play? I guess that's the $1 million question, right? Donovan Mitchell, how much are you going for? 70? Who's got money still to spend?
Well, that's what you kind of figure, right? He has to kind of go for that 50 to like 60 to 70 range, sorry, because
48 now.
I don't know, he has those huge
He's
games. Has
50
those
now. He's
huge
hit 50.
games.
He's hit 50. There's a little bit of injury concerns though. Last season, 55 games only.
Yep.
You're hoping he
And
bounces back from
has the
that.
contract extension, but it's a new coach as well, and obviously they're trying to figure out some stuff. I don't want Donovan that badly. I feel like I need to arrange something with Matt to figure out who he wants so that I can get who I want because we're the only 2 people with money left. Chris Stapps.
I think
Now this is a stash. This is a stash pick because he's not playing for a couple of months.
I see Tyrese went for 55. That's probably not bad value, right? Tyrese at 55.
Quarter of your thing. It's equivalent to Chet.
How bad are his hamstrings issue though? That's the thing, right? I think there's a level of, is this going to be a
Once you do
potential?
one, yeah, similar to Harden when he did his hamstring and he just wasn't able to stay healthy after that, becomes a problem.
So, look,
He's got
hopefully,
youth on his side at least.
yeah, hopefully he plays 70, 80 games. But I think he's sort of, it's not, wouldn't be shocking if you saw him in and out of the lineup a little bit if that continues to bother him. Same like Booker a little bit, right? Booker has that same sort of similar issue.
Correct, yeah. Booker had a little stint there. Even, that's the thing with him and KD. KD had a really good season in terms of games played. Um, but how long can that last for? Carl Anthony Towns. This is an interesting one because talking about a really good stat center here, and he's about to have a new environment. It's either going to be really good or it's not. Plays power forward and center. That's always a good one. I'm just going to bump this straight up to 30 because I reckon I've got the money now to get a bit of a steal.
Cat at 30.
Cat at 30.
Cat at 30.
Cat at 30. Wow. Cheaper than
Oh,
Shengun.
oh, you're laughing.
Well, considering that I can pull off a couple more of those before people can start bidding against me, really,
But
that's
then,
I
but
feel
then
good
here's
about that.
here's the catch, right? Unless you're gonna chase Ant Edwards, Scotty Barnes. I'm just looking at this here, or
Steph
say Steph
Curry,
Curry.
Steph
Okay,
Curry,
literally,
Kevin Durant,
you're
Ja
building
Morant,
you're building
Damian
your
Lillard,
team
Devin Booker.
again around Cat. You're literally building your team around Cat, even though you spent the
We'll
most for
see.
Sengun. I don't know. You've got an interesting tactic here. Clearly, your strategy is quite different than mine.
Yes, yes, it is. I just can't do it with Ja. I'm sorry. I'm so off Ja.
No,
It's not even
no,
funny.
no.
He gives me Derrick Rose injury vibes. He's got the off the court stuff. I know he is poised probably to have a redeem season. Um, but I just can't get around it. And also the turnovers. Like he's going to average about 3 turnovers. He's not going to shoot well from three. These aren't things that help.
I feel like I'm happy with my draft, and I feel like I guess chill a little bit now. I literally get to chill for about 8 rounds.
So
I think
SGA was my guy, but I just didn't feel comfortable spending $100 on him. So
could have gone 86.
you know, I just think we both know it wouldn't have stopped at 86.
You don't think
Would have
so?
kept going.
Well,
No, I think we would
my
have kept
sheet was
going.
said 85 is my limit, man.
Oh, I wish I knew. Hindsight.
Steph Curry, here we
See, now
go.
this
Here
is
we
the
go.
one. So this is
From a
Steph Curry.
value
The
perspective,
issue, but the issue here is that they're not in contention at all. So is this one of those he just disappears seasons? Doesn't
you
play.
think so? Man, I think you're riding off the Warriors a little bit here, man. I don't. I think they're going to be one of those mid-tier teams that continue to fight for a spot, right? And therefore you play Steph Curry, you play all your players, and you continue just to try to avoid that play-in. Where's it at now? 40,
39.
40 now. Like getting Steph for under 50 is probably not a bad deal. Like if and like you'd feel like he could potentially bump his numbers up even more, cause even despite his age, right? He's like
Yeah,
at
because Clay's not
26.
there.
Yeah, hitting 30 points a game this season would not be crazy for Steph Curry. Get a few more looks. All right, I'm up.
I'll
I'm
take
up.
it.
What did Steph Curry go for? 42. You're going for
42.
42. All right.
Yeah.
He's now your main man. You're building your team around Steph Curry and his brittle ankles. Who was I going for now?
All of a sudden he's got brittle ankles.
I totally forgot who I was going for. I'm going for this guy, not because I won him, because clearly I'm not going to get him for $12. Let's see
I mean,
some of
this
you guys
is
spend some
this
money
is
here.
Matt's to lose.
Someone's
This
got to
is
spend
Matt's
some
to
money.
lose,
Yeah,
isn't it? Surely it's Matt's to lose.
Matt's the only guy with over $100 left. He does realize he can't cash this in at the 7-Eleven or something for some extra petrol or something, right? Who's he bidding with? Chris. Chris has got 90 to spend. Community issues still has 88. Colin's still got 79. Those are still sort of near max numbers, man. You can still grab one of those sort of top 10 sort of players in that tier. KD's still on the board, man. There's still some good names on
Yeah,
the
I know.
board, man. KD's still on the board.
KD, Paul George, Lillard, Fox. There's players.
What do you go for? 50, 50 what? 53. Is it? 53. So as the rounds are unfolding here, your initial draft board had SGA. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to tell me here? That you would have
Yeah, I would have liked SGA.
plan
I
A
would
was
have
build your
liked.
team around SGA.
Yep.
So where's Steph Curry projecting to your plan D? Have you
You really didn't.
have you ever had Steph Curry?
No, so it'll be unique. Obviously, threes are going to be helpful in this one.
I had Steph Curry that year. He broke his hand. I was so
Yeah, so
pissed.
that's what he was worried
I
about.
was
Yeah.
so pissed. I was so pissed, man. I spent the first round pick on him that year, and he did his hand maybe 11 games in or something like that, and then obviously didn't play the rest of the season. And I literally had to stash him, I think, for a while, and I was just hoping he'll came back. Never came back. Started my injury, like it was sort of double whammy, right? He chewed up my spot in my injury list as well, and he also didn't give me any production. I was like, oh man, what a bummer. I don't think I went that well that year. What are you up to, Lamelo? Wow, wow, a bit of love. Can you stay on the court?
Yeah, I know that's high as.
Lamelo is
Considering
a.
I just got Pascal Siakam for $9
Here's the
less.
thing though. You know what? Lamelo is a top 10, top 15 fantasy player if he's healthy, and that's the huge if, right? That's a huge if. It's like Kawhi, man. It's like a Kawhi conundrum. 34. Who ended up with Siakam last year? You didn't end up with Siakam, did you? Because I think I
No,
dropped him or
I was
traded
trying to
him.
get him off someone.
Yeah, I think I traded him. I had him. He was the guy on the free agency pile. Remember him and Kyrie? I
Hmm.
picked them up on free agent. I was like, oh, what a win. And then that really didn't help my start at all, right? And I was like, so I got to make
But
some
Siakam was
decisions.
on Toronto at this point. Like what I'm banking on here is that he's got the continuity with Indiana. He was huge for them in the playoffs.
Hmm. Well, Tyrese was out as well, right? So it was clearly number one
Hmm.
option. So let's do some mind reading here, man. All right. So this guy Matt on 50 Shades of Trey. Who's he chasing now with all his money? Is he just trying to build like similar to you,
Well,
like, you know?
what he's in a position to do is he can, if he wants a player, he can now take them
Yep, yep,
definitively,
yep.
right? And so that's a nice position to be in.
But no one feels worth
Um,
like $80 anymore anyway.
no, but he can get three. Like what he can do now is he can get 2 to 3 players at like $40, because for me to spend $40 is basically it, right? So that's where this kind of is interesting.
Chris's cool team. You can always tell when people haven't renamed their teams, right?
So I
Davion
got no interest
Mitchell.
in this whatsoever. I got no interest in this
You
whatsoever.
you know what? You were so high on this kid, man, a few years ago when he came to the league. I remember you
Yeah, he
know,
was quite good defensively. He had
yeah,
some good
yeah.
defensive stats. He's got my surname, so it's always good for jersey sakes.
But then he just never really panned out, right? Is it in Toronto right now? I actually didn't really know where he landed. Look at that. The imagery tells me he's in Toronto. $2. $2. Ben Simmons went for more than him. Scotty Barnes.
Now, 3 positions. That's what's interesting about Scotty Barnes. Small forward, SG, power forward. It's pretty unique.
He does some good things, man. I like the kid. You think his numbers? You
He's
think
a
he's still got some more improvement though? Is that you think his ceiling is still higher than what it is?
well, it'll be known this season, won't it? The projected stats don't seem too favourable, but
They're actually predicting he basically does exactly the same thing this year. He plays 10 more games.
hmm. How come I didn't nominate a player?
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're up to pick 8. Paolo, there's your man. You want him again?
No, I don't. I mean, those projected stats look very positive, and I think he will have a bit of a jump after the playoffs there. Um,
25 points basically now a point per game. Can he bump his percentages up? That's probably a big area for him that he needs to improve on. If he can hit the 40, sorry, hit the 50% sort of mark there from the field, then I think he's not a bad value. Sure. What do you got? $43 left. Does that fit you in what?
yeah, it's not a lot of room. It's not a lot of room. It's not a lot of room.
Is that is that is that a 30, 40 player you're trying to chase now, or like maybe a couple of just two $20 players?
15s, a couple of 15s here. That's really the play.
You still got
I
some
mean,
sort
look,
of strategy left compared to me, man. I got $12.
yeah, but there's probably some you're just going to pick off what's left. Sorry, which is what I'm going to end up doing anyway.
The problem here is that I'm gonna pick up what's left, and then some guy's gonna come and want to bid that $2 more than me, and then I'm like, oh, do I want to spend $4? $4 on Bradley Beal. KD, is it just me or is Colin going for everyone in Phoenix?
Is that what his team's projected to be
Well,
at this point?
he picked Nurkic, right? He's got KD now.
No, that's everyone else is definitely not that. But this is where, Matt's in a position because Matt can take KD,
Get
really,
KD
because
for
no one's going to
40.
go 40.
There you
I don't know why I didn't get to pick, by the way. I'm very confused.
go. Excuse me. Maybe you did. Maybe we just missed it. I actually didn't hear. Did it just automatically put a play on the board?
I don't know, I went all the way straight to there. So James Harden, I mean, I had him last season. He does some decent stuff. During the regular season, he will do some decent stuff.
No
But
PG. Surely his stats could trend upwards from a fantasy perspective.
yeah, I don't think so.
You think he's just getting old? You think he's just getting old?
I just don't. He's not well conditioned. He's just not that kind of guy,
I'm up. I'm up. Here you go. Here you go. Look, I'll let you play, man. I'll let you play. Decision time, man. Decision time. Yeah, I gotta decide. You got 40 something dollars. You spend your 40 something dollars here. What's the play, man? I wanna see this one unfold. We know that we got some other guys that play field books quite high on their list too, man. 17. There you go. It's creeping up, man. It's creeping up. I know in your head you're like, oh, 20, 25. Fingers crossed, 25. We're at 20 there. You got a bit more spending power than a few of these guys, man. You could just nip them by $2 or something. 22. Book at 22 is not bad, man. Like I feel you got to jump in, man. Like there you go. 25. No, someone else gonna jump in. That's your catch, man. Besides his brutal hamstrings, right? Brutal hamstrings.
That's a huge. What a huge acquisition I just
you,
got for
you,
25.
you
I
like
should have
it.
just held all my
You
money.
you like
I
it.
should
You
have
like
held
it.
all my money.
You like it. You're the same boat as me now. You got $18, man. Like we might as well go have a coffee or something and come back in 20 minutes. Like so what do you got now? Let's have a look. What do you got? Who you got on your team, man? You've got alright, Book, Steph Curry, Kuzma, Sengun, Siakam, Towns. You feel alright about that? It's not,
I feel good.
yeah,
I
you
actually
feel
feel
okay.
good. I think the Booker acquisition very, very last minute. I'm surprised Matt didn't try to run that one up because
Maybe you missed the
he
ball,
could have.
wasn't paying attention. Like you got 6 players, I think. I only got 3. Like
Well, I think the thing with my 6 players is they are all respectively 1 or 2 on their team. So
I,
that's a good position to be
I
in
know
at this point in the draft.
last season you spent a lot of time studying minutes played, right? I know you were mentioning that to me about minutes played.
It's a thing. It's a real thing.
And I guess being a 1 or 2 option means you're getting minutes, correct? As long as you're not injured.
So De'Aaron Fox here on the board as well. I actually can't offer on this one. Can you offer?
Yeah, it's past my $12, so that's why I can't.
Well, no, I can't offer. I have 18.
Mm, I'm not sure.
It says my max. Sorry, apologies. There's a thing
Yeah.
that says my max offer is 12. So I'm obviously not allowed to exceed. I think it forces you to have $1 left for everything else.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to go with here. We are looking at. I am looking at role players. So I'm going to go there. SG is an interesting listing for Josh Giddey there.
Yeah, SGSF, not even a PG. Wow. Surely he's always been recognized as a point guard, man.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not loving his stats. I think you feel like he's a real player that has
The
an
projected.
upturn.
I think the thing is there's a lot of unknowns in Chicago. That's probably the thing.
Giddy putting up say 17 and 7 would not be shocking. They're only projecting about 14 and 5.5. So um, yeah, I think it probably depends a little bit as well on what's his name, Alonzo. Obviously, whether Lonzo actually comes back and
No, he won't. He won't. I can
oh,
tell you that right
what do
now.
you mean? You're saying Lonzo's not going to play a game this season? Is that what you're trying to say now?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
You might as well go a step further. You're saying Lonzo's career is done?
Yeah, I think it is. It is. It's really unfortunate, and I'm not reveling in that. I'm just being
you,
definitive. I don't
that's
like his
it.
chances at all. I don't like his chances. It's not good.
There's people in fantasy leagues I've seen across the board that are riding on his comeback right now. They're spending picks on Lonzo Ball to be a rotational NBA player again this season at some
But
point.
they're not putting money down on it. That's the difference.
Money picks, what's the difference, man?
So the max that I can bid is $12. So I really can go all in when I feel the need to. This is not a player that I would go all in on. Um, Similar to the Booker stat line, but we kind of know that time is not on his side. Booker is theoretically entering his prime, whereas Lillard is leaving it, and they have a lot to figure out in Milwaukee. So
Lillard was really hard for me to own last season. Obviously, it was his first season in Milwaukee. He killed you with percentages, man. Yeah, he had
hmm.
a really poor shooting year last year, and because he shoots such high volumes, when I had him, he was probably, I could almost say he was the number one reason why I had such a poor start, because he killed me in those things, in some of these areas. And then he would have one good game and four bad ones, and I was like, oh man, like Fred
So
Van
whoever
Fleet,
he
eight
picks here at
dollars,
this point, whoever he picks here at this point,
he can win,
he
right?
can theoretically buy
For
it out.
for $50, which would leave him no money though. Let's be clear, $49.
So this was another person who was on my board. SGA and Rudy Gobert, I felt like I would have really wanted to pursue them. Um, it obviously hasn't worked out, but
Neither of them ended up on you.
that's allowed to say.
Have you got any player that actually is on your list? I got
No,
Sabonis, right? I
no,
got Sabonis, right? I love that dude.
no, nothing really went. I mean, I got Booker. I mean, Booker's already there. I
Hey,
left him late.
I went for Wembanyama at 80. I just wasn't so sure on 84. Like I don't know. In theory, could be a bit harder for him, but then I wouldn't have obviously have gone. I would have gone a whole different strategy then, really, if I'd gone Wembanyama at 84.
CJ McCollum, he played 66 games last season, but it felt like less. Felt like less.
All right. I don't even know what round we're up to. How do you tell what round you're up to, man? I'm like,
I assume this is only round 5 because it's pick 50.
okay, okay. We're even looking for pick 50. I don't know
Like, no, the top left.
Oh, okay, I see it. Pick 50 of 130. I gotcha. All right, we're not even halfway through. I've gone too hard too early. Is that what's going on here?
PG at $13 is a steal. I mean, this always happens at the end of the draft, but
There's some good names out there still. Some good names out there.
there's a lot of good names, and that's the thing. Like, we're all going to get to the point where we can only bid $1 respectively. So Chris is now, I believe, at the like he can't bid anything more than $1. So he basically won't get any picks for a while.
So we're bidding for Bam. Probably find him over Bam for $5 at this point.
Maybe, I think the player, like you and I are in the same amount, so I don't have to say anything. Jalen Brunson still being on the board right now. I think we both enjoyed his services, and he was probably the main part of what I gave you back for Luca last season. The fact that he's still there, that's kind of crazy.
I think though it's not unrealistic that he statistically takes a hit. Yeah, I think if you right now what's he being projected at 28 points a game. If he drops to say 22, 23, it wouldn't be shocking. Knicks are winning, they're rolling. Maybe his assist total go up to 8 to 9. Okay, 23 and 9 is nothing to sneeze at, but from a fantasy perspective, it wouldn't be shocking if he takes a step backwards, especially with the additions to the team now and how, Cat's going to obviously be a 20-point scorer theoretically, and Mikal Bridges can score 20 points a game too. Whereas,
I think there's got to be some weight on the like big game stuff because Jalen Brunson last season had multiple days where you check your box score and he's got 50 or
mm,
40.
mm,
And some players, SGA is a player, you're going to have him, and he's going to be a player who always gives you 30, but doesn't give you that spike. And sometimes you do win a week of fantasy because one of your players went off. And he's that guy that can go off. Brandon Ingram here, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole because that Pelican I don't like any of the Pelicans, really. And this Ingram situation, is he going to get traded? Probably not. Is he going to play? Who knows what he's doing? I think there's a reason he's going for 5 here.
well, we're in the dregs now. We're in the dregs. Matt's joined us with
Well, this
40
is
bucks. Who else has got money? Matt, basically, Shub's got 39. Shub could make a play now for just another 20 to 30 range player and then close his books in that sort of sense, man. So now those $5 bargains, man. Who's worth $5?
So Laurie Markin here, good stats, but the 55 games played last season. Why? It wasn't a Utah decision to tank. It's a very, it's a concerning number.
He's got his
And
money now as well.
he got his knees now, and he also had his breakout year. And sometimes players have their breakout year, and it's just that. It was one good season.
Is it fair to suggest that Laurie Markin is overrated?
No, I don't think he's overrated. I just think that he was a late bloomer, and now that he's bloomed, that's it.
He's bloomed.
He's bloomed. What else do you want to say?
Just to watch him play, right? You know what he's going to do. Is that what you're saying? All right, Jalen Brunson. Can't even bid for him. Bummer. I'll just have to trade for him.
Surely someone outbids me here.
Well, it's only Matt, really. Matt Shoop. Maybe Colin could jump in if he wants.
There it is. Yep. I was about to say. I was like, you surely take it.
So what's Matt's team shaping up like? Let's have a quick look here.
Matt's team is shaped out quite well. Very well.
Ant Edwards, KD, Porzingis is out for a little bit. Gobert, De'Aaron Fox, Brunson. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. I think currently he's poised himself very well.
Okay. We're feeling envious now.
A little bit. I think because that was my strategy a little bit to hold on.
Yeah.
And
but then what happened? Then why'd you go away from that then?
Well, I didn't hold on, did I?
So where'd you spend all your money? What are you trying to say? You spent all your money on Steph Curry. You just, Sengun. Yeah, Steph Curry and Sengun. It'll be ironic if Sengun is, well, it will be. And Sengun is your highest paid player. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a reach?
No, Steph Curry at 42.
No, second highest player.
And that's the thing. It's a victim of the time. I think, and it's always easy in hindsight now to look at the landscape and say, oh, I should have held on or I should have done this. You got to play what you got to play. And there's still going to be good $1 bargains here. It's going to turn into a draft of you get to pick your player.
Hey, look at Shub's team, man. What do you reckon of Shub's team? He's starting to shape out now. He's got Jar, he's got CJ, Choir. Well,
I hate it. Well,
Tatum, Nurkic, Van Fleet.
Love Shub. Hate that team.
On paper, though, his team looks okay, though, doesn't it? I think he's filled his roster spots reasonably well. He spent the most on Tatum, which just probably makes sense. 59. He's gone for the besides Choir, right? If you could replace Choir with another $30 to $40 player that wasn't so fragile, then you probably say Shub's actually got a reasonable looking team right now. Colin's got what? He's got Jokic, Banchero, PG, Jalen Green, Cunningham. He's still got what? He's still got $29 to spend. So, what they got here? Who's on the board? Maxi.
That is the steal of the draft. That is the steal.
How much you go for? 10.
$10.
Everything's gonna go for under 10 now. Really, that's the point, right?
Yeah, but the fact that Tyrese Maxey went for 10, he's the second best player in Philly. Paul George is not coming in as the second best player.
Here we go. Jimmy Butler. What are we gonna get?
Well, the max that I can bid is $3.
65 games, just so you can qualify for awards. That's what they're projecting. Jimmy Butler is such a hard one. I've had him in a few years before. Maybe,
It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Does some really good things, but then you're always concerned he's not going to be in the lineup, right? And he's always like in and out, game day decision, plays 2 games.
But 20 games is a quarter of the season, which when you know that the NBA season runs for, 6 to 8 months, it's 2 months that you're not going to have Jimmy Butler for, which is what happened at the end of last year. Like he didn't play for most of December, I think. And that's a long time to be without a player. Another player there, Miles Turner, is 2 blocks, but he shoots 3s. And that's a really interesting, same for Brook Lopez. Both of those players currently, it's an interesting.
You do realize we're not even halfway through this draft yet. And we just, I don't know, it's going to be, it's interesting how the rules stipulate what you can bid now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the reason for that is the game or the draft, sorry, is it's going to force us to pay $1 for our picks. So when it gets down to pick 125, that person is paying $1, and no one will really bid against it.
Do you have to fill out all spots? I actually
Yeah,
don't know
you have
this.
to. You
On
have to.
in
I
the
think you
draft,
have to fill out all spots. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah,
can't you fill out the
because
spots
there's
in the free agency pile?
no, because there's 13. So you can see there's 130 picks, 10 people. So that's 13 round. Like, we have to finish this draft. We have to finish our team. So
I'm going to the bathroom for a minute. I'll be back.
uh, fantastic. I guess I'll carry the stream. Thanks for watching. I don't know why you are, but if you are, thanks. Thanks so much. I'm gonna check to see if I'm actually talking to anyone on my phone. I checked the stream on my phone. I don't want to move my screen because I'm doing a recording. You can take Vukovic for $9. I've got no interest in that pick whatsoever. That's it's not the pick I'm interested in. Yeah, no one's watching. It's okay. Just want to say Murray. I really just have to park my money here. I can bid $3 on someone. Terrible time to go to the toilet.
Who wants Mr. All-Star potential, but then,
Well, I think the
Donovan Mitchell
conversation
arrived?
around him. Well, no, that's the flip there. The conversation is often around Donovan Mitchell, but look at the games played, 57. Like, he just had a bit of a bad run last season. But he actually has averaged like 65 to 70 games most seasons he's been in the league. I, you know, I think there's a durability concern with him. He's a small guard.
So what did I miss while I was gone for a couple minutes? Evan Mobley at $8, Vucevic at 9, John Dante Murray at how much? John? I can't read it.
Five,
$3,
five
$5.
dollars.
Darius Garland at 6. All right.
Yeah, Bam here. I mean, you look at the projected stats, 20 and 10 and almost 1. That's good stats.
I really feel like imagine we're all sitting in the same room together and we actually we're working with real money right now. We're like got peanuts now.
Mm.
With a lot of rounds to play, right? Lucky the platform does all the calculations for you.
Yeah, this is actually pretty impressive, the platform itself, when you think about it.
It'd be ironic if there was some glitch in it that you could just, overbid or something. Go overdraft over your limit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go into
whoops.
deficit.
Actually
Yeah.
can go over my 200. Just like NBA 2K where you turn off injuries and you get injured.
Nothing, no, there's no harm in that. Very,
Oh, I see someone wrote some comments about Ben Simmons that is a little bit explicit.
yeah, it's on your stream, so we're probably gonna get cancelled now.
Need some need some what do you call it? Blur it out. Oh, censoring. So we got Dylan back. Where did Dylan finish last season in our six-man league?
Finished out of the top 4.
Okay, so he's come back for another crack at it. Um,
Well, thank God too, because we wouldn't be doing this without him at this
yeah,
point.
I was like, what, some guys always put their hands up, and then I knew some guys were always going to pull out at the last minute. It was like, how many pull out? Lucky we got some guys come in and jump on board, take those seats, man. Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller for $5, right? Miles Turner,
Well,
285.
I selected him because I'm trying to hope that people don't realize what I'm pitching. But he can go either way. He's a sophomore, so he can have the sophomore slump. He's not on a very good team, and it's not projected to do much better. The LaMelo factor hangs over their head. You know, I don't. At this point, I can't get attached to any of the picks. You know, $4 for Brook Lopez is a steal, but then also Brook Lopez is like getting older every year that goes by. Who
So
wants D'Angelo
so
Russell?
help me
This is
out
the
here.
bot.
Help me out here. What's the So how
How's
much
the
can I spend here? What's my max bid here right now? So
So if you click on this, it says current offer $3. Underneath, it's going to say manual offer, and in brackets it says max whatever it is. I'm going to
okay,
assume your max
it's
is
three.
around 5.
It says
Oh, it's
three.
3.
Mine says max three because I have lots of spots to fill still. Yeah, you filled more spots than me on your roster, so I see what's going on here.
So and because you have to spend money. So Buddy Hield here, that's good value, I think, because he's going to get it for he's going to get it for less than $5. And Buddy Hield is going to be the running mate to Steph. Always a great chance to remind people that Buddy Hield is on pace to actually be like an all-time three-point maker because he actually makes a lot of threes. He played more games last season than it's allowed. Good pick. Good pick.
$3.
$3. I mean, do you take the gamble? You look at those projected stats.
26. They're saying he's gonna bump his scoring up even further now. It's gonna take a leap. Less games, more points.
Yep.
Zion,
Let's
man.
go some more points.
I had him last season. I don't know, man. I
That
got
was,
rid
that
of
was
him.
enough.
I was happy to I was happy to move on from him. I don't. Yeah, he needs to bump his percentages up, man. For a player that sort of plays the style he plays, and then he shoots sub 50% from the field,
Yeah,
doesn't
you'd
shoot
think
great
that
from the
he'd
free
shoot
throw
better.
line. Yeah, doesn't shoot threes. Yeah, it doesn't really help you in those categories. I think that's his biggest knock, man. If you could lift his percentages at least from the field to like 50, 52 or something percent, that would be, a huge bonus. I really want Matt to just spend the rest of his money, and then, then I'll have $12 more than everyone else.
Jamal Murray. This is another player that I don't feel comfortable to go for at all.
Anyone that's had knee surgery, right? I get the gist, man. Anyone that's had knee surgery, you want to stick, keep 10 meters away, right? 10-foot pole.
I think if I had a superpower, it would be knowing when people's knees are shot, and I know that his knees are shot. For $2 though, you can't complain. But those knees. Ugh.
uh, Actually, I don't mind how
Looking
much.
at the
I got some names on this list here. I've just scrolled up and down a little bit that I still want. I'm not going to reveal them obviously right now to you, but I don't mind. Let's hang tight. Sit tight and assess. Sit tight and assess right now. Nick
So Nick
Claxton.
Claxton is one of your players where if we counted wins, it would be interesting
What are they going to win like
because he
30
won't win a
games?
lot next
30
season.
games, 20, 30 games. Brooklyn's projected to. Um, and they don't want to win.
See,
They
I
don't
feel
want to
like
win. They
I
don't
picked
want to
him
win.
up when I had Nick Claxton. It was the 11 games that he didn't play because I got nothing out of him last season. Sure, you don't pick who you want at this point. It's too early. They can get poached.
Yeah. No, I want.
But but you also have to pick players that you're prepared to have because you can pick them and then you're left with them. So
$1. I'll take Jalen Johnson for $1.
this,
Does anyone want
this,
Jalen Johnson for
this,
$1? $2?
this guy,
Alright.
this guy.
He's not bad. He's going to trend upwards. What's his projected stat? 16. Well, they're not really saying he's going to do much more than he did last
Didn't play a
season.
lot of games
A
last season.
dollar,
Was that
a
due to
dollar.
injury or just not making
Does no one
the
know who
rotation?
Jalen Johnson is? This is working out well for me. Ah, sure. $2. Jalen Johnson. Good stuff, Shub. Not a bad pick. I'll take it. Miles Bridges. Is that an auto? Yeah, auto. It's just whoever's next on the list right now. That just comes up if you're already dropped out of the draft.
I think so.
No, Miles Bridges. Who's spending money on him? I think by default Dylan can have him. His commitment to be the last guy here with 9 other bots.
But you know what? The more bots that we have, the better because they're going to keep picking the best available player, and it's not always the
Not,
best available player.
yeah,
You know,
Emmanuel quickly, 20 points a game. They reckon he's going to hit this year. I don't
Yeah, well,
know.
when he went to Toronto, that's what he was essentially averaging. The issue with him is that that's all he's going. Like he's very inefficient, very, very inefficient.
Shoots like 30, like 43% or something from the field, right? It's like a bit of a clunker in the field goal category. Redeem team. Who are you gonna go for, man? Who are you gonna go for? 7 seconds. Oh, sorry, 7 selections. I'm reading the wrong thing. Put a play on the board. Malika Monk. You're saying you're taking for $1.
I'll have to take him for $1 because I've said that I'd take him for $1. I think the hard part is that there's some players that I do want, but I don't want to list them because then they'll be taken, and I'm hoping that I could get them later. And Malik Monk, you can see the projected stats there. Huge energy guy for Sacramento.
Oh, it's not a bad pick. Having Malik Monk end up on your bench is, on your team is not end of the world.
Well, this is what has to happen though with this draft, right? Because Jalen Williams is a good pick. I would have picked him. There's no way he goes for $2 here. There's no way he goes like surely this is your bid to steal here. And like that's the thing.
Someone's got more money than me, right? So it's okay. It's okay. I do like Jalen Williams. If I got him for $3, I'd be really happy. But
You gonna let him go to Keith though?
I couldn't bid more.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, and that's the frustrating, and that's kind of why I was tentative on that. I was like,
It's okay. You know what? It's inevitable in the fantasy draft, man, that you have like 5 players that you really like, but you don't end up with them, and you go bam. And even sometimes when you sit there and you're trying to make a decision, and then you have to make a, a production decision versus like a personal preference decision, right? And they're sitting next to each other, and like this guy does probably give you more fantasy stats, but I like this guy a bit more personally, right? It's like you got to be able to make that, you know, differentiate that difference. Come on, Matt. There you go. Spend $1. That's it.
well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I also didn't want him if I got him at 2.
Milk every dollar out now. It's good. It's good. Surely he's up for a. He's going to have a improved season in Portland now. Portland, I think.
He was having a better time in that. Well, Portland's such an interesting pool though because they've got Aiton, they've got Scoot, they've got Jeremy Grant, they've got Shaden Sharp, they've got
like
there's
everyone
one
just
more
trying
and I
to
can't
get their
remember his
buckets.
name.
Is that what you're trying to say? Everyone trying to
Yeah,
get their
that's the thing.
stats.
Like it's not a very good like the chemistry's not very good there.
Like they know they're not really contention, so who can get their stats to get paid? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I worry about. There's not a lot of cohesion there.
Feels like a Chauncey issue.
Well, that's a whole other issue, isn't it?
How about Clay Thompson, man? He's still on the board. Is he someone that you
Well,
want?
this is
Yeah.
one
Mm.
this is one that's on the board that that's a lot of that's a good stats. Good stats.
Clay does hurt you a little bit in the field goal percentages nowadays. He used to. Sorry,
Are you recording that? Is one of your stats that you're recording?
field goal percentages. Absolutely. Franz Wagner. He's
For
going to hit
two
20
bucks.
points a game now. He's
That's
been
it. You can have him now.
he's been shooting bricks for a while. I think this kid needs to get that shooting going
That's
for.
fine. It brings Colin back to where I am, so Colin can't overbid anymore, and now it's just getting Matt out of there.
All right, a few guys have dropped out now. 4 guys have dropped out. Right. What we got on the board here? Who we got on the board? Michael Porter.
Wow, really, really feeling him. I think Michael Porter's surprising. The 17 points, whenever you have him on your team, he doesn't ever score 17 points. So I don't know how he averages 17 points, but
That's a bit harsh.
no, that's how I feel about him. So this is Keith's last pick. So Keith's actually officially done. So that is Keith's. Keith's is done. We don't need to. Oh no, that wasn't Keith, was it? Who was it? Someone's actually done. Done. I clicked on a team before and they were done. Oh, I'm just imagining stuff. Shub's 1 player away. Matt's 1 player away.
What are you doing? Are you scrolling through the teams? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just looking through the teams currently. You got to do something while you're here. What you're banking on, I think that's very generous, the 20 points. He's on a brand new team. He's the third best player. I don't predict him having a 3 points better.
All right, dollar.
I would say 15.
I got to fill out some of my spots with $1 players. So
You can
Clayton
do whatever you
one.
want.
I
But
got
that's where I think so personally speaking, I think you should have picked a better caliber player because you have the money to play with.
yeah, but I still got plenty of picks to go still. So I'm not feeling any urgency yet, even at this point.
Now, Daniel Gafford's an interesting one too.
Keith, what do you mean? Keith still has plenty of roster spots. You were saying he's got
Yeah,
a
I
lot
mucked
more.
up. I
Oh,
just,
okay,
I
okay. Sorry, my bad.
literally.
Sorry, my bad. You were looking at
It's Colin. I think it's Colin.
Shub's got
That's
one.
Matt and Shub. Matt and Shub.
Shub. Okay.
So this is an empty stats guy, and those 46 games played shouldn't make you feel very good.
I think that field goal percentage. He was probably like a Damian Lillard light. I've had him before, and he does chucks the ball up a lot, scores a lot of points, and then kills you in the percentages. And then has those brick games where he shows like 5 from like 20, and then that's like you're shot in the foot. It's ironic because I guess he was the guy that was playing behind Dame Lillard, right? For all those years. Redeem team, you're up. Put a player on the board, man. How about the
Okay,
DiVincenzo
man.
guy?
I'm just.
DiVincenzo guy. Quick, what do your draft notes say, man? Alex Caruso. Well, his stats are trending backwards, expectedly, right? In OKC, he's not needed to even. He just needs to play some. He needs to be that defensive man, right? Defend man, right? You're like holding your breath. Is that what's going on here? You're not gonna comment here. You just can I get him for $1? No one's gonna outbid him, but you got him.
No, so obviously he's a stocks projection, you know. So I don't know if anyone actually clicked on him, but he averaged a block and a steal,
Yeah.
almost 2 steals. So that's what I'm going for. And the assist ratio should go up. The points, the rebounds will probably stay the same. I don't hate it. You got to do what you got to do. As I said, these last couple of picks don't fill me
How many spots you got still
with
left?
any joy.
I've got plenty of
I
spots
still
left.
have.
I feel.
I got 4 slots.
Okay.
So for you basically get one pick that you can just outbid everyone. And Matt really goes all in. Like Matt basically needs to strategically buy someone for $15 or $16 and just take them because that's it. That's his last pick.
Oh, but yeah. So I guess he could outbid anybody.
That's what he should do.
He could just.
He could like literally he has one roster slot left. It's about to happen. He needs to take someone. And I'm not going to reveal who he should take until
But here's
he's
the
had his
catch. No,
turn.
but here's the catch. If he picks someone and someone outbids him, he'll still keep his roster.
They can't. Who's going to outbid him? No one.
But it starts at
no one has more money.
It starts at $1. So if someone outbids him $2.
No, but he can manually outbid it.
Yeah, but
he just needs to pick his player.
Who he wants. Yeah, he needs to pick who he wants. Correct. So he wants Zagini. Yeah. Interesting pick. 14,
I don't hate it. I don't hate it because he's going to be important for Memphis. But personally, with who's on the board there, it's got to be Naz Reid.
There's probably a bit more proven production, I think, right?
Well, also with the cat trade as well coming in, that's going to shift around their dynamic. See what I mean? It just auto gave it to him because no one was going to outbid him at that point.
All right, Shub, $4, man. What sort of player? He's got one spot too, right? So this is his last pick too, right? I think Shub is its last pick. Effectively, who does he want here? Naz Reid. He's gone for Naz Reid. He can outbid me anyway. I think that's the problem. Someone else decided they can outbid me too. I see what's going on here. Did we not mention this was a hot name on everyone's list right now? Surely after the last 24 hours, Naz Reid is a...
Who just took him? Should just took him. Could you not bid more than $4?
No, because I have too many roster spots left, and I still need to keep dollars for each roster spot.
Got it.
Whether this is a positive or negative, I'm not too sure right now, but that's clearly how my strategy has played out. Zach LaVine, $1.
It's getting dire.
Surely you think Zach Levine, if he stays healthy, his stats would trend upwards. The fact that DeRozan has left now. Um,
That's the trade risk for him, isn't it?
can he stay healthy, right? That's the problem. DeRozan is still on the board. Wow, this is like value, right?
Yeah, so he
For
was another
$2.
one that I looked at in terms of, the Nas Reed pick. I think he's coming into a really nice situation with Sacramento. I'll take that. That's fine. I really like that pick.
All right, who we
I
got
think he
here?
was the best player. I think he was the best player left on the board.
Who we got here? Okay, let's see if anyone knows this guy. $1. Does anyone outbid me? Matt will probably outbid me, right? Ah, someone knows this player. Good one, Nick. I can't outbid you, but do I want to?
Depends how bad you want him. I can log off early and get out of here if I get my thruster slotted.
How many spots you got left? You got 3 spots now, though. Is that correct?
I got 2 slots left.
2 spots and $2. You got
Yeah.
two $1 players
I had
left.
to spend it on someone. I might as well spend it on someone who's going to give me stocks. I like my stocks team. I think that was the focus a little bit.
Isn't that a strategy you tried to apply last year? All about stocks. All
Yeah,
about stocks.
it's all about stocks. Did you have Devin Vassell for a little bit? I had him for a little bit last season.
Uh, I think we might pick that and then dropped him at some point because he was in and out a little bit. He was injured for a little bit, I think, middle of the
All up
season.
and down. He's quite up and down.
So
Yeah.
Collins' team is complete as well. What's he got? So Jokic, build around Jokic. Cade Cunningham is second highest player, paid player. CP3. Did you just
Well, is
nominate
it still
CP3?
3? Is it still 3?
Huh?
Is he still 3 on the Spurs?
He is still 3 on the Spurs.
Yep.
Because Keldon Johnson decided to give his number up.
Oh, that's good of him.
What are you hoping for here? A dollar?
Assists. Well, that's all I can hope for.
Can he stay healthy? Does he still
Doesn't
have
matter.
Does he still have it in his
I
tank?
don't.
Crystal's cool team. Dante DiVincenzo. All right, what we got? PJ Washington for $1. Who's still in this? So we still got one, two, few players left. It'd be nice if I could see everyone's board, right? Oh no, Shub's size.
So Billy Bums is going to fill out his roster.
Size still got plenty of spots to fill too.
Chris is going to fill out his. Keith needs to fill out his. You need to fill out his. Dylan's got 2. Si's got a couple, and I'm going to be done after this turn. Excuse me.
So we're all stuck on $1. Then effectively you can't outbid each other. You're just picking who you want.
Correct.
Yeah.
You actually are just. Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
picking.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I don't think I've ever gone down that strategy path, but I guess I'll take it.
Well, they're very optimistic. Did he really average 18 points last season? It felt like 10.
Surely he can put it together, right?
That's what we have to hope for. We have no other choice with that team.
I'm up. Should I go? All right. This is my all-time favorite guy, isn't it? Right, surely $1.
You just took him. Oh, okay. Didn't even.
No one had to fight me at all. It's great.
But you can pick anyone else's player pretty much.
All right, you're up. Is this your last pick?
Yeah, I know.
Last
I'm aware.
spot? Last
It
pick?
is. It is my last. pick.
Who do you want? Who do you want? Dollar. Jaden McDaniels. Nice. You think he's going to get a more production this season after this trade? Probably not, right? He's still.
It's hard to say. It's hard. It's he had some flashes in the playoffs, right? And I think the interesting thing about the Minnesota Timberwolves will be how they respond after that run, and who and what roles are gonna, slot in.
Mm, mm. Good trade I go here. Still got 5 spots to fill. 5 spots, $5. All right. See, right now, if this was last season, I'd have to figure out how many spots I have left in every spot. Yeah, I'd have to think. Oh my God, I've got 2 shooting small forwards right now. I can only go 1 more small forward technically. Um, all right. Hey, this is actually the easy part of the season, the draft, right? You just,
Yeah, it's
no,
significantly quicker.
no need to battle anyone right now. I just take who's left out of the scrubs. But there's still some reasonable names here, I feel. Jonathan Kuminga. Someone's hoping he has a breakout
Well, he got
season,
some
right?
decent stats on him. Got some decent stats on him.
So have you finished? Yeah, you
I'm done.
finished it.
Yeah,
So
so I'm
so
just watching the chat really to see what's going on because I don't have anything to come up.
hmm. What do you reckon of Marcus Smart, man? What do you reckon of Marcus Smart?
He's got to play, doesn't he? But that whole Memphis team with their injuries last season, it's hard to say.
I'm gonna go for both Thompson twins here. No, I just need both. I just now need both Morris twins, and I wanted the both Lopez twins, or brothers at least. If they're not twins, they're brothers, right? How about Scoot Henderson, man? No one's gonna touch Scoot Henderson, right? But surely he's gonna have a upward trending season.
It's
What are
got
you
to be. It's
reckoning?
got to be better than what it was. I mean, unless he, like Markel Fultz is a rookie that comes to mind that never really got better. It took him multiple years for him to have that bounce back season. So, it's a gamble. There's definitely
Tobias,
some auto picks here that, like Stefan Castle. So it's an interesting one.
Tobias Harris. No one wants to touch him. That's an interesting situation.
It's the percentages, I think. From what I gathered of Tobias Harris, is the percentages, and he disappears.
Yeah, but now he's gone to Detroit, right? Like Detroit has like all these young guys, and he's the most proven player there.
Detroit's just not going to do anything.
Mm-mm-mm. Mike Conley's still on the board. It's an interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not much of a fantasy player, though, right?
So's
No.
the his retirement.
What?
That's still on the board because he's old.
I feel like I'm the only guy still picking here.
You are. You actually. This is the last pick. We got there.
I outlasted everybody because I blew all my money early, and then I couldn't max bid higher because I had so many roster spots left. And now I get the cream of the crop of the scrubs, man.
Jalen Suggs.
All right,
All right. Well, I
Jalen
get my
Suggs.
little.
We get our pictures. We get to look at our teams.
All right, and I'm going to drop some of them already. That's good. I'm going to stop my recording.
All right. Well,
I don't know if you need it or
that was
not,
fun.
but
How long did that go for, man? About an hour and a bit. That's not, it wasn't too bad.
yeah, an hour and a bit.
Could have been
Yeah.
worse. I guess what we're gonna catch up on Thursday and let's break down after a few days
Yeah, Thursday
reflection
should
what's
work.
happened here, man. All this emotion that's riding here. You like didn't get SGAs, didn't get.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, disappointment's the word. I'm going to be looking at the free agent roster right now to see what I can do.
All right, dude. Catch up with you soon.
All right, catch ya.